I'm on the concrete wave. The wind is blowing to the north, northwest. It smells like sand from the southern islands. When a black cat crosses my path, a woman in the moon is singing to the earth. A woman in the moon is singing to the earth. La, 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 la. I'm riding on a camel that has big eyes. The buildings are changing into coconut trees, little by little. When a black cat crosses my path, a woman in the moon is singing to the earth. A woman in the moon is singing to the earth. La, 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 la. We are taking a sugar water shower. Okay, that was the first one. Just FYI. Okay, the second one's kind of a poem / short story. So, yeah, it's called A Man and His Porcupine. Yeah, okay. So a man walks down this stretching dirt road, and when observed candidly under the steaming sun, anyone can see that he is dragging something along. Look closer, still, and notice it is a porcupine. A fat, dead porcupine. Of course, this porcupine was not always dead, but it was always fat. The man was given it at the very start of his journey. He knows not by whom. In fact, it was not even a question of concern, for everyone had one. And, if nothing else, he was bearing a load that likened him to his neighbor. At the start of his trek, he was accompanied by his family and his peers. Now don't you let that porcupine go, would frequently chime his dad. Bringing him along makes you build muscle. Caress it, and after a while, those thorns won't even hurt. I remember mine. I loved porcupines. Then came the point after which his family could not go with him and his porcupine. The weather was pleasant enough, and so became the goodbyes. The man looked around affront at his peers and the path ahead. Without a cause to when, he realized most of them left their porcupines at the line their families could not cross or some point hitherto to die. They smiled, and with free arms and open intensity, sprinted ahead to follow their roads. But a few still held theirs and made the same left turn that this man did. The vegetation was at its peak, and their porcupines were well fed. Finally, I can let this thing go, echoed the actions of his final friends. And they dropped off their porcupines at the foot of the garden, or some point hitherto, to die. He, however, would not. He had already gone so far with it, and who knows, the trail may be coming to an end. And so he made a lonely turn with just his porcupine. Naturally, the earth heated, and the green turned gray, and then back to brown. And those who abandoned porcupines died, who were not already dead. And this man felt the heat, and sweat, and cried, and bellyached. How much easier it would be to leave the porcupine behind, to eat it, or skin it for shade. But no, he would not. He would not even ask himself why. Here, alone, when the trail was now unquestionably barren and burnt. To the end, to the end, to the end I must go, he sang, to a metronome of every exertion mustered to drag his porcupine along. Finally, when he could sing no more, even the forlorn song of a damned fate, he too discovered his futility and his unparalleled loneliness. Under the heat, he managed a thought through his dazed and hysterical condition, brought on by the weather. Well, hey, at least I have you. He lifted up his pet by the tail that served as his leverage for pulling it, and for the first time since the fall, he realized what he'd been carrying all along, a fat, dead porcupine. That's it. Cool.